or you? It's been a long time. Shouldn't have left you without a dope video to step to, step to, step to, step to, step to, step to. Good morning and evening, all you captains of trade and noobs dipping your toes in the trade game. With risk comes reward, and the way to maximize both is a trade game. Trade is your fastest route to blow that million credit milestone out the water. Like the best comment I've seen on my channel said, if you ain't trading, you're broke. By far the biggest risk to trading is the mighty 30K tsunami, which jack slaps your invested credits with a Herculean pan. The intended risk is getting pirated by other players. The mechanics for pirating don't exist yet, but should be in play by the end of the year. So for now, we got people who just want to blow up your cargo. There's nothing you can do to control either of those, but you can control some things to increase your chances for you and your cargo to survive. So let's take a look at how you can quarterback these situations. Like up, sub up, and ring up like a boss. So if you've been rocking with me for any amount of time, you know that I drop those trade videos, which attracts a crowd to the trade routes, which attracts folks who want nothing better than to blow up your goods. If you parked up in an armistice zone, you good to go, cause they can't do anything but waste ammo and overheat some weapons. There's ways around it, but we ain't gonna talk about that. They could go for the ship ram, but that won't bear any fruit when they roll up either. If you're buying at a location that has no armistice zone, then risk goes up significantly. So the first action you can take to reduce your chances of cargo destruction is just to avoid places with no armistice zone. But if you're like me, you want what you want and ain't nobody gonna stop you from doing what you came to do. But be smart about it. Gauge the chat, get a feel for the vibe in the server before you proceed, and then once you do, Number 1, keep your ship powered on and your engines off. Now why would I do that, dig? First of all, you want your ship powered on so your shields are running. In fact, crank the power of the shields so they'll last as long as possible, giving you time to get back to your cockpit. And you need that time, especially when the route to the cockpit is longer than the Get Smart intro. You want the engines off so that if somebody finds a way into your ship, they can't just take off with it in your cargo. If they're on board while your ship is fired up, they can definitely take off with it. It's just a good idea to keep your ears open when you're inside shopping, and if you're waiting for the supply to refresh, wait in your cockpit while scanning for ships. Number 2, check your ship channel for stowaways. Back in the old days, we had to perform a physical search and clear each section of our ship to make sure nobody was hiding in the turret or a bed waiting for us to take off before putting ye old shotgun to our head and taking off with the goods. Now, all you gotta do is open up that Moby with F11 and look under ship channel. As long as nobody appears in the list on your right, you good to go. Number 3, prep your ship before you take off. This is the best thing for you if you know there's griefers hanging around waiting for ships to clear armistice. So knock out this pre-flight check while your gears are still on the ground. Dig into your MFDs and allocate the bulk of your power to shields. Strengthen your rear shields. Spool up, but don't plot a course. Go ahead and take off. After you through the armistice, pop countermeasures as needed. Look for a green jump point, any green jump point. Make the jump, but assume they followed you out, so cut the jump short by holding B or cut your power with U. Plot a course to your drop and make the jump, but assume they're anticipating your route and make an extra jump so that you can approach the drop from a different angle. And that's how you shake and bake them.
Shake and bake!
But let's rewind back to the landing pad and see what else we can throw in the pie. Number 4, size up your opponent. If you can target them and see what they're flying, then you can bump your strategy game up a notch. If they ain't something you can outrun all day, then take all the power out of weapons and throw them in the engines, so you got between a 50-50 split or a 70-30 split between shields and engines. If they're in the ever popular Eclipse and you're in something like a freelancer that can tank their guns while they're trying to missile lock you, power the forward shields, charge toward them and beat the brakes off them with those dual sets of tarantulas. So size up your opponent first. Number 5. Upgrade your shields. You looking for something that can tank hits long enough for you to escape. If folks are interested, I might do a guide on that, but anyway, you still gotta be smart and use what we talked about, because better shields is no guarantee. And I know you don't want to dig into your profits, but a good shield can mean the difference between cashing in or responding several 100,000 credits later. So do with that what you will, young Skywalker. The next 30 days could be a little tougher for traders. The subscribership of the month is a Mantis, which, if you ain't know, has a QED or quantum enforcement device. That's the big glowy thing that prevents you from just jumping away, so you could get forced into a fight. If you're not confident in combat and you know you can't outrun them, might be time for some Hail Mary plays. You could throw out a beacon and hope somebody nearby picks it up. Risky, but hey, I said it was a Hail Mary. If your shields are hold out long enough and you just need somebody to intervene long enough for you to get away, you could contact the commission via my Discord. Hop in the Star Citizen channel and reach out with the commission role. Space Pirate McMorgan or Captain Rico or Gotti are usually down for some anti-griefing action if they're available. I forgot, last I saw Gotti had changed his name to some characters nobody can read or search for, but somebody will probably help you out. Another option is a bed logout. That's a box of chocolates right there, because you really never know what you're gonna get. You could end up at the star or in a free fall with your engines off or inside the moon, or who else knows where. Do you take your chances with the griefer or with the glitches? Up to you to weigh that out. So how do you reduce the risk of the grand old 30K monster? Well, first you need to know that at the first detectable sign of a 30K, the chat may still be working, but the server's already committed seppuku and there's nothing you could do about it. With that being said, don't ever jump into a server and just start trading. Knock out a mission or two to get a handle on how the server's acting. If it's super buggy from jump, or you notice folks in the chat having a bunch of issues, might want to consider dipping to another server. Things could work themselves out, but why risk it? Second, pull up the FIPS counter, or FPS counter as you guys say. If you're not hip, check out my console commands 1-minute video. Once that's up, what you're looking for here is BWIN or BWIN or BWIN or whatever. This number should always be moving. As soon as it stops, that's a wrap. Server's done. Look at this number before you buy anything. Occasionally you see it stop and sputter before completely conking out, so keep an eye on it before you confirm a purchase. Worst case, you'll know about the crash before it gives up and shows you the dreaded 30K notification. But yeah, there you have it, ladies and germs. Some strategies to fly dirty and keep the money flowing, because that's what we bout around these parts. Big exquisite shout out to the 12 wise men, aka executive producer almighties of this joint. Ike the Subliminal Show Enough in the building. Odin Red Jello Deluxe in the building. Gino Guerin, Corvette Esquire in the building. Hold on, Tarboyas Villainous in the building. Mysterious Mike Alvera in the building. Saucy One, the Flousy One is definitely in the building. Slick Dick Dansley, Pencil Thin Mustachio Extraordinaire in the building. AM Hero, aka No Monitor Needed, is in the building. Commander If Blackout is in the building. Big Black the Telstar Ranger is in the building. Kayak is in the building. And Shotton King is all up in the building. Salute my dudes, you are appreciated. Big 7-Up salute to all the fans supporting, getting down and rocking with your boy. Salute to Diedrix, the mother, Buster Boy, Guillotine Girl, SM, Generalissimo, Commander Dr. Digital, Space Pirate McMorgan, Zayla Maru, Commander Leviathan Soul, Time Out 420 Twin, Train Man Rob, Epion Next, Deadeye IO, Buster Psycho, Figment, Weasel, and Titan Prime. Big thanks, Fambinos. Shout out to everybody subbed up, ringed up like a boss. My name is Dig, and I like to make noise on the mic and stuff. Fly dirty.